Welcome to another episode of Five Lemons Laughing. I'm Amanda. I'm here with Penny, Drusilla, and Morgan. Our blessed Melissa is traveling today, so we send her lots of love. We are in the middle of the holiday season, and with this season brings a lot of attention to giving gifts, giving time, giving energy, giving that holiday cheer, even when we secretly want to go home and take a nap. Or at least I do. I love nap time. But here's something we don't talk about enough. Giving and receiving are an sacred exchange. Both of them matter. Both create connection. Both open the door to joy and to gratitude. When we give from pressure or people pleasing or obligation, it really drains us. But when we give from gratitude, it pours joy into everyone involved. And the same is true for receiving. It's an act of gratitude to allow blessings to land. It's a spiritual yes to abundance. So today we're exploring how to give and to receive in gratitude with openness, with presence, and with a little humor. Because generosity isn't just what we offer for others. It's how openly we allow love back into our lives.
Love it.
Amazing. Ooh, gives me chills.
I can't wait to get into this.
Me too. You know, that last statement about giving and receiving, opening us up to love. I'm sitting here listening to that. And though I've made the connection about receiving and giving being on the same continuum, most of my life, I've been more of a giver. And I have, through studying the course, have been more receptive of receiving. And now I think that I've found the balance, but I cannot say that I have equated that to opening myself up to love. So I cannot wait to hear what you all think about that. Have you equated that to love? I will say that I equate gift giving. Yes, I love you, and I'm demonstrating, I'm showing, I'm expressing my love by giving the gift. And of course, there's been some by obligation, but I don't know that I felt that that is a way to open myself up to love. And I love it because it gives me one more way that I can, walk in my purpose and, demonstrate the will of God. So let's jump in here, ladies. What do you think, Penny and Morgan?
Oh my gosh. I'm just like soaking in everything that you and Amanda just said. And my first thought is I love to give, but it's harder for me to receive. Mm-hmm. And so I like the reframe of receiving is just as much, well, I know it's just as important as giving, or maybe even more important. And so I'm just kind of soaking that in, just kind of letting that marinate a bit because I'm not quite sure.
Well, why do you think it's harder for you to receive?
That's a really good question, Morgan. Where the first thought that I had after you asked that question is because sometimes I don't think that probably it's my unworthiness. Like, I don't think that I'm worthy of receiving. Like, it's better to give than, that old thing, I was raised, it's better to give than receive. And so I think that's where it comes from. But I'm okay. It is still, though, it's kind of hard for me to receive at times. Mm-hmm. I'm working on it.
Well, it's almost like on a ego fear-based level, it's almost like we believe the opposite of receiving opens us up to love. Like there's almost like this underlying fear that if we shift out of the giving, caretaking, mothering role, then we're somehow less lovable, or people are not going to love us as much if we're not filling that role. And so it's like it can be kind of scary to receive until we, sort out our mind to the truths, rearrange the way that we think about these things.
I agree. Something that came up for me just now when you said that, Morgan, was that it feels like we're giving away our superpower as caregivers, and when you were talking, Penny, it reminded me, something came into my mind about better than and less than. Mm-hmm. Perhaps I felt that because I'm in a position, I feel like I'm in a position to give and this is just materialistic, right? To think that I would feel wrong to take from other people who might not be as able to give. Like there's a lot of ego play going on when you were talking about why it's difficult to receive sometimes.
Yeah, that's a really good point. I mean, I'm working on dismantling this ego thought system, and it can still come into play quite often. Yeah.
It really breaks down to basic spiritual truths for me. Like Drusilla, I love the way that you brought in better than and less than. If it'd be like some type of superiority, some in it, and it feels like a lack mentality. Because if we think about giving and receiving, if we think about the whole world as being a type of energy and being vibrations, if we tap into the vibration of love, then no matter what is given and received, if to me that's the point, is tapping into the love vibration. So if for me to give love is stirring it up in all of humanity, and it's so important that me giving it and it being received amplifies it instead of closing it off. And then when we bring in the vibration of if I'm the giver, then the role that I'm playing is better than you, better than, right? It's just the vibration of better than. Well, then that taints that, I don't know if taints is the right word, but that skews the love that is behind it.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not actually giving love. What I'm giving is my judgments and my opinions. So that's, and then so that's why it would seem harder to receive that, because it's not actually given in that pure essence of love.
That's really profound. No, I love what you shared.
That's a lot to digest.
Yeah. Deep thoughts with the Lemonettes.
Good thing we still get to laugh, right?
Yeah. It's true though. I mean, like, definitely we've all participated in exchanges that were really clean and pure, but we've also probably all participated in exchanges like you just described, where there was like a better than, less than feeling in the like underlying the exchange.
And to pile on top of that, I always have to look at my motive too. Like, am I giving to get something in return, or am I giving just to give from the love in my heart? Mm-hmm. And that's, I always have to think, is my giving pure?
Right.
And in the right vibration, like you were talking about, Amanda.
Mm-hmm. So what does help us, you, them, they, what helps stay grounded in that joy and the love and the gratitude?
Big question.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I think it goes back to what Penny said about getting clear about your motivation. If we're going to the holiday season and talking specifically about gifts, tangible things that we would give to people, are you giving because you should? This person got me a gift last year, I need to get something for them. Or are you giving because, for the joy of giving, just because you would like to, with no expectation of, I wonder what they got for me, or if they got me anything this year, or wait and see if they got me something before we give them this.
I love that, Morgan.
I've done all of that before.
I have.
I've also heard of people that they have a few gifts in their house just in case somebody gives them a gift and they weren't prepared for the gift, and they can go grab a gift and give it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's funny that you brought this topic forward today, Amanda, because I was, it's that time of year where we're doing our gift shopping. And I was thinking about the other day, one of our best friend couples gives us a gift for Christmas sometimes, not without fail, not every single Christmas, but sometimes they give us a really thoughtful gift. It's not a high monetary value gift, but it's a thoughtful gift that is, And we don't give them gifts. We don't do friend gifts. Like I used to at once upon a time, I made a list of everybody that I wanted to buy gifts for. And it included all of my family, all of my friends, all of my coworkers. And it was freaking exhausting. And I just don't do that anymore. We do Secret Santa with my family. We buy gifts for John Mark's family. We buy gifts for each other. And that's it. And I don't do any more than that. And so I receive their gift when they give us one with love and gratitude. And I feel under no obligation to get them a Christmas gift. And I don't expect to receive a Christmas gift from them. You know what I mean? Like, so it's just honestly getting comfortable with that whole idea that gifts do not need to be giving with a expectation of reciprocity. It's like you don't invite someone to dinner with the expectation that then they're going to turn around and invite you to dinner.
See, that's a whole different way to live. I bet you there are people going, what? Yes, you do.
That is a great way to live, Morgan. I love it.
Yeah, it is a great way. When you first started like living without that expectation or pressure, did you was it just like this year I'm not going to do it? Was it a subtle change as you started your, spiritual practice? What was that?
I think it was probably a subtle change, and it was uncomfortable at times. I don't feel uncomfortable about it anymore, but I mean, I grew up in a gift giving family, and gift giving and receiving was my primary love language for a lot of my life. Mm-hmm. And so it was just little sparks of awakening awareness that gradually began to untangle it and unwind it and shift it over the years. So it wasn't like a clean break all at once. Nobody's getting a gift. You know what I mean?
You phased it in.
Yeah.
Or phased it out.
Right. Yeah. I hope it doesn't make me seem grinchy.
Well, I also think too, Morgan, just to tack on what you were talking about. I mean, I don't need anything.
Yes.
I really don't need anything. I'd rather have, my primary love language is acts of service. I'd rather have somebody do something for me than give me a gift, like help me clean my house, or not that, but that's what, so that's another thing to look at too, is some people want a tangible gift and some people just, that isn't it's not what they want.
I'm glad you brought that up, Penny, because that played into part of it too. I mean, it was the energetic, clean exchange of giving and receiving was part of that shift. And part of that shift was as we go through this spiritual progress, like the whole concept of overconsumption just becomes less and less appealing. And, we do become more mindful of, making the loving choice, and is buying these gifts that this person may or may not like, and which may or may not end up in the landfill or the donation box. Is this really loving, or is this just being done out of a sense of obligation? So that played a big part in it too. It was a kind of tandem shift that was happening at the same time. And, what brought it to my mind, what brought it to my awareness, honestly, was the sheer quantity of gifts I was receiving that I was immediately putting in a donation pile or a regift pile, or just like, oh, great, I'll put this in my junk drawer and probably in 5 years, pull it out and donate it. You know what I mean? Like, not to sound ungrateful, but that's just the reality of this world that we live in. We have too much stuff.
Yes.
Well, some of us do.
Some of you have
said that,
unloaded.
Because I was beginning to think about where you were when you originally talked about your precise giving method. And I thought, well, I don't give in the way that I used to give, but I was having trouble defining what my methodology is. And you just described it. I feel like I assess my purpose for giving. And if I think that someone actually really does need something, then I give out of the generosity. And then at the same time, I think about, all of my family and my mother, and looking around at all the material things, and everybody has an abundance of everything they need, right? And that's what has caused me to scale back on gift giving, and just kind of being more conscientious about, having too much. And the same with you, Morgan, the day after Christmas, and looking around with all of the stuff that I have that I don't need, and kind of feeling like more than likely, most other people are in the same position. So that has caused me to really, really scale back on giving tangible items to people, for sure.
Drusilla, and I think that's a great segue into receiving. And it's so funny. Like at the very beginning, we talked a little bit about receiving and how comfortable it was. And then we switched. I mean, if we just witness, we switched to a huge conversation about giving. And we're ignoring the receiving part. And receiving, just, like I said, is just as important. So I would love to get into, I know it's right. We're like, like, let's talk about the importance of receiving. What comes to mind is like right when my husband and I got married, we were at a gift giving thing at Christmas, and my mother-in-law gave sweaters out. And I do not have a poker face, right? Like what I'm thinking is projected, like even if I'm not speaking. And I opened, and his sister and I both received sweaters, and I opened it up, and I'm like, it's a sweater. I mean, it's still joked about because when I opened the gift, my judgment was so present. Like, oh my God, this is a horrible sweater. And I was trying to be excited about it. And like she immediately, his mom was like, I'll take it back. Right. Like, I mean, it was like, and I felt it's still joked about, but I still feel kind of bad about blocking the energy of the of the why that it was given.
And why do you think it was given to you?
I honestly, I'm not a mind reader, so I can't get into her mind, but she was trying to include me in the family. She was trying to do something for me. Like, I can see that. I mean, I know this woman, she's a loving woman. So, so I feel like I blocked that love that she was, whatever her, I don't know what her, I can't speak to her motivations, but now I would hope that I would just receive it, like just receive it, no matter what I was going to do with it, no matter if I was never going to wear it or not. Just like this person is giving something to me, and my role is to receive it, to allow it. I was not in that place 25 years ago, right? It's been a long time, but
Did
like
she
that's
get you another
always
Christmas gift? I'm curious.
Little gifts, but never a sweater. And every Christmas, oh, it's a sweater, right? Like it comes up.
Oh my God. Thank you so much, Amanda, for shifting this conversation, because I just sat here and thought about how, hopefully I'm reading this correctly, how Penny, Morgan, and myself talked about how we don't need tangible stuff. But it's somehow probably still that we're blocking the ability to receive. It doesn't matter what it is that we're given and that we don't need it. It's just like, I remember sending one of my little cousins, I say little, but he's graduated from college now, money every month for college, right? And I at one point I had this little like scholarship thing going on in my mind where I would send all of my cousins that were in college, I would send them money. And his dad said to me, Drusilla, you don't have to do that. As in, we have it, we got it, we make sure he's taken care of. And I said to him, no, don't you dare block my blessing, right?
Ooh.
Right, because it's a blessing to be able to give. But we're sitting here and doing the same thing by saying that we don't need the stuff because it's, well, so what if we donate it? Or so what if we give it or regift it, right? Because we should not block them from giving because they may be genuinely giving from a place of love.
Yes.
Oh my God, Amanda. Thank you so much.
Yeah. And thank you, Drusilla, for restating it in that way, because it brought a barrage of like thoughts through for me too. Like, yes, we can make conscious actions to shift away from overconsumption and to make, gift giving more conscious in our households for sure. And there's merit in that. And sometimes we're going to receive gifts that may not be like something that we would ever use or need or want, but they're coming from love. And that is the gift. It makes me think of in the life-changing magic of tidying up, how she talks about it's okay to read the note that someone wrote you and receive the love and to discard it. Like that's perfectly okay. You're getting from the note what the note was meant to deliver. So the same thing could be said for the tangible goods. And I'm reminded of two different situations where one year I gave my grandfather a book that I just loved. It really moved me. And this was before I went on my Course in Miracles path. And so I was like, I'm going to give this to my granddad. Maybe he would like this. And the next year he sent out an email to everyone saying, please don't give me any books for Christmas. I know what I like to read and I buy the books that I want to read. I mean, it was something like that. And it was a thinly veiled, like, I didn't like the book that you gave me. You know what I mean? And it really hurt my feelings. Like I was giving a very thoughtful gift, I thought. And so that was an example that still clearly bothers me. Maybe I need to do some forgiveness work on it. Mm-hmm. And then on the other side of the equation, John Mark went on a trip out west one time with his buddy, and he wanted to buy me a gift. And he was like, what should I get you? They have a really cute beanie here at this brewery or wherever he was. I was like, I do not need a beanie. We live in the Southeast. I only wear them a few times a year. I already have 3 or 4. Don't get me anything. You don't need to get me anything. And he comes back from his trip and he gives me a beanie. And I was so ungracious. I was so ungracious about it. He really just wanted to get me something. And it makes me want to cry. Like I was just so ungracious about it. It's like missing the whole essence of the point was that he wanted to get me a gift and let me know that he was thinking about me on his trip. And so, yeah, very, very powerful to reflect back on these things. So much to learn and grow. And yeah.
Don't block the blessing. I love that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was a great one, Drusilla.
Mm-hmm.
And if we do go deeper into the spiritual truths that receiving that, so no matter what people's intentions are, right, whether they're taking, they're giving out of obligation or they're giving out of pressure, if we reframe it and receive it with love, then we are transmuting that. We are transmuting no matter what is going on. We have that ability.
We do.
Mm-hmm.
Now to remember it.
Yeah, now to remember it. And it's so interesting. I want to bring it to the awareness. Now that we're looking at this, I wonder how this giving season is going to shift. I'm open to receiving more. I'm opening to abundance. I'm opening to switching the vibration to love. And that does bring us back to Drusilla's opening point, focusing on the love. What does this have to do with love?
Well, this is very timely because this is going to air after my birthday, but I have a birthday coming up in a few days. And I just sent out a text message to everybody I invited that said, here, I'll read you what it said. Here it comes. Are you ready? Yes. Okay, I got to find it. Hang on 1 second. Okay, here it is. So I just sent out this text message to everybody. I said, for my birthday this year, I'm skipping gifts and focusing on giving back. Your presence at the party is the only gift I need. If you'd like to do something extra, I've chosen a local nonprofit here called Community Solutions as an organization I regularly donate to and would love to donate a little extra with your help. And so I'm inviting them to help me create, a donation to Community Solutions for their cause. And so I just told everybody, I'm thanking you for being part of my life. And, I'm really looking forward to celebrating with you on Saturday. So now I'm thinking, oh my God, is that me controlling? Because I don't want, I don't need anything. And I look at it too as I really do support what Community Solutions is doing in the community. And this is a tough time of the year it's a tough time for a lot of nonprofits based on what's going on in the world. And so I just feel like it's a way for me to, raise awareness for their good causes too. And this is just one simple way to maybe do it. But now I'm thinking, oh my God, am I deflecting? And what if somebody brings me a present?
Mm-hmm. What if somebody brings you a present?
I will accept it with love.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the core question is, Penny, does it feel like you're blocking gifts? Does that
maybe a little bit? Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That you're stopping your receiving mode?
Well, yeah, because I don't always not everybody that's coming to my party, do I go to their birthday parties? And I always think that, oh my God, if somebody gives me a gift, I have to give them a gift back. And so that's kind of what's mulling around in my head. But this whole conversation we're having, I'm reframing that I'm really looking at it as it's just the blessing coming to me, and I get to allow it and to allow the love behind it and see it as a loving gesture. And whatever it is, it is. And if nothing comes, it's okay too. Because I'm going to give to Community Solutions.
And
Anyway.
I also see you opening to receive love because you're celebrating yourself and you're inviting people into your home to celebrate you with you. So, just because you're saying like, I don't need any gifts. Thank you, but no, thank you. But you're not totally closing yourself off to receiving love because you have invited these people.
That's true. And one of my friends said, wow, I want to become confident enough so that I can throw my own birthday party too. I thought that's a fun way to look at it. Yeah.
I think the bottom line is, how did you feel when you wrote that? Did you write it because you don't like to receive? Or did you genuinely, just prefer that it be community service? I think it's pretty simple.
Yeah, I think I prefer that it be community service. It's just another way for me to give back. And maybe some of the people that got the text message didn't even know Community Solutions existed, didn't know what they were up to. So it's also a way for me to help Community Solutions build awareness. Yeah. Yeah. So that's just interesting. We'd be talking about this topic the day after.
Yeah. Well, and I mean, it's like, do you bring a hostess gift when somebody invites you to their house?
Sometimes I do. Like a maybe just some flowers I've picked in my garden.
Right.
I mean, yeah. Do you?
Sometimes I do.
Yeah.
I do. And I felt like I had this conversation with my husband just the other day. We were going to our friend's house, and they have us over so often that we don't do it every time. But I actually get enjoyment out of doing it. And that's when I know I'm doing it for the right reason. Well, he, on the other hand, has this obligation thing going on where he's like, and we just go back and forth. And I think it's funny because I love when Holy Spirit can point out things for me so that I can continue to grow in the right direction, right? But yeah, I think it is all about the vibration behind it, whether it's coming to you and whether you're putting it out there. It's incumbent upon ourselves to, what's the word you use? Transmute it regardless, right? Yeah, I like that. So I think I'll be doing a lot of transmuting because my family, I don't know. Sometimes I think we all kind of grew up in a giving family, kind of like you said, Morgan. But at the same time, I think a lot of it is just obligation and habit. So we've scaled back a lot, all of us. And we always say, we're not buying all these gifts this year. And then we end up in a house full of wrapping paper and gifts everywhere, right? So I'm looking forward to transmuting whatever feels like it's obligation.
Yeah, that sounds like a good commitment. It's interesting. For my birthday, for my sister-in-law's birthday, I texted her and wanted to take her out to lunch. And so we met for lunch, and I got her a candle just because I wanted to get her a candle. She's so generous, and it was just a little nothing of a gift. Not to dismiss the gift. Cancel that last sentence.
Good job, Morgan.
But she and her family are very wealthy, and she ended up picking up the bill. And I was like, I invited you to lunch to celebrate your birthday. Let me pick up the tab. And she was like, no, your birthday's coming up too. I want to get it. And I didn't argue with her. That's just kind of what she does. I didn't want her to do it or expect her to do it, but I allowed her to do it. And I still considered the lunch a gift, like to both of us. You know what I mean? Like it didn't diminish the value of the lunch or the thought or the gift of the lunch and the time together. And also a few weeks later was my birthday. And, John Mark's side of the family just does not get together as often as my family does. They don't have the same, they're close. They talk on the phone way more than my family and I do, but they don't make like get-togethers a priority. Well, John Mark invited his siblings and his mom and his nephew and everybody out for my birthday dinner, and they all came. And I was for a minute feeling a little awkward because we don't do this for the other people in his family. And it's like, and then here they are all coming out to my birthday dinner. And, and then I just let myself receive it. Like, I let it not be awkward, and I let myself receive the love. And, I also, acknowledged my contribution to the family and like helping to bring them together for things like this. So
that's beautiful.
Yeah. So there's just so many different ways that it shows up and that we get to practice shifting back to that clean, clear vibration of love.
Yeah. Mm.
So did we get it this time, Amanda?
I think so. The only thing I can't even really like, did we really talk about like how gratitude and love play into this? Like, did we talk about the gratitude and what that means? And if we did, I'm not really recalling it. So if someone could restate, like, how does gratitude and love play into this giving and receiving and amplifying situation?
I think when you can, especially when you can receive something like the sweater that your mother-in-law gave you, and you can receive it with gratitude and transmute it, then that's the part that opens yourself up to love. It's like, the saying that it's easy to love people that love you, but the gift is
Yeah.
in loving those that don't love you back. That's where the real joy is, and that's where the real love and transmuting is, when you can do it when you know the gift is not coming from a good place, or you feel like you don't need it, or you feel like someone's forcing something on you. I have a friend of mine that pretty much brings me something every time she sees me. And it feels like she's like forcing something on me. So it's probably just her, if she's, trying to people please or whatever, that shouldn't matter. I should still be able to transmute that, and being grateful, just being purely grateful for everything that she gives me is the gratitude and the love. And that opens me up. It doesn't have to do with the other person. That's what opens my heart up.
Well said, Drusilla.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I think your sweater story and my beanie story are perfect examples, like of not being in a space of gratitude blocked the flow of love that my husband was trying to give to me. So that just is a perfect example of what not to do, how it doesn't work.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it could be, okay, this is me minding your business, Drusilla, and not mine. So, I could be way off base here, but it could be the same thing with your friend. Like maybe her giving is pure, and your judgments that she's people pleasing or giving too much or whatever is the only thing that's blocking the exchange from being clean and love and gratitude filled.
Yeah. It doesn't matter what her reason is for doing it. Yeah, because whatever I'm feeling about it comes from me.
Right. Yeah, we can conjure up any kind of story that we want about other people's motivations. And at the end of the day, it's our story and our projection and ours to forgive and ours to clean up, to get back to that love and gratitude.
Yes, 100%.
Yeah.
Mic drop now, Amanda.
Yes. I feel so complete. I'm like, I can't wait to hear Penny's post-it.
Oh my God. Okay. So, well, the very first thing you said, Amanda, was to give and receive are sacred exchanges. Neither is more important than the other. They're both equally important. And to receive is to allow love. That's kind of flowed. The words got together there. Allow love is a new word. and then, is it obligation or is it from love? You have to really check in and see what it's from. And then don't block the blessing. I just love that. Don't block the blessing. Yeah, that was really a good one. I'm going to think about that one often. Don't block the blessing. Yeah. There's others like that's give from generosity and shift back to the clear, clean vibration, transmute it if you sense that you're not coming from that abundant, loving space in your heart. Yeah. Oh gosh. Yeah. And remember, whatever you're feeling, and you get to choose what's going on. So as we wrap up this beautiful episode and we move through this season and into the next, it'll be Valentine's Day next after New Year's. It just flows one after the other. May your giving feel like joy and receiving feel like grace. And may gratitude be the multiplier in every part of your life. We talked about that a lot. I love that, shifting into gratitude. Yeah, so thank you so much for joining us today. And remember, the greatest gift that you can give us is your transformation. Yeah. There you go. So we can't wait to connect with you again. And stay peaceful, stay hopeful, stay joyful as best you can during this holiday season. With that, we'll sign off.
Bye.
Love you all.
Bye.